A quick review of French possessive adjectives. So remember that all of our possessives are, as stated, adjectives. So they have to conjugate just like adjectives. This means that we have to worry about both gender, is it masculine or feminine, and also number, is it singular or plural. In the singular adjectives, in this case meaning that one person is possessing something, you have three options. You have a masculine singular thing being possessed by one person, a feminine singular thing being possessed by one person, or a plural thing or things being possessed by one person. We have three sets of singular possessive adjectives, and each one has a masculine singular, feminine singular, and plural version. In order, we have mon, ma, mes. So mon is used when a single person, yourself, my, is possessing a masculine singular object or person. Ma is used when one person, myself, I, is possessing a feminine singular thing or person. And mes is used when one person, myself, I, my, I'm possessing more than one thing or things, or a word that just happens to always be plural. The exact same thing happens with informal your. Ton, ta, te. Ton, masculine singular. Ta, feminine singular. Te, plural. And then finally, his, her, or its. All three English adjectives translate into three in French. However, it's not about his, her, or its. It's about that same masculine singular thing, feminine singular thing, plural things. So son, sa, say. Masculine singular thing being possessed, son. Feminine singular thing being possessed, sa. And then plural thing or things being possessed, say. Remember, I cannot say this often enough. We care about the gender and the number of the thing being possessed, not the person possessing it. It is not, oh, I'm a girl, so whenever I talk about my, I always use ma. No, it has nothing to do with your gender. We don't care about your gender. We care about the thing that you're possessing. Is that thing masculine singular, feminine singular, or plural? If you really can't think of it that way, if this confuses you, then just think always to look at the word after the adjective to determine which one to use. So if you're saying my mother, then you need to look at the word mother to determine which one to use and not think about who is my. This is easiest to see with son, sa, and say, since all three of them can mean his or they can mean her, or it could be the much more neutral its. So for example, if I wanted to say his father, I'd say son père. But if I want to say her father, I'm still going to say son père. Why? Because the word père, father, is a masculine word, because your father is by definition a man, and it's singular. We're talking about one father. Therefore, we must use son regardless of the gender of the person who's possessing the father. If it's his father or her father, it doesn't matter. Corollary, his mother and her mother are both sa mère. Because again, mère, by definition, mother, a woman, singular in this case, feminine singular means sa, regardless of if you want to say his mother or her mother. In plural adjectives, so when more than one person is possessing something, so people are sharing possession of some object or person, it gets a little bit simpler and you only have to worry about two options. Is it a singular thing being possessed, or a plural thing or things being possessed. We drop gender with the plural adjectives. However, we have this exact same pattern occurring in all three plural adjectives then. To say our, so you and at least one other person are sharing something. Your singular form is notre, and your plural form is nos. Your, in the formal, so votre, a singular thing, vos, a plural thing. Or finally, their, so more than one third person is sharing something. Leur, without the S in a singular object. Leur, with the S, with a plural thing being possessed. Okay, we don't hear the difference here. It's leur and leur. However, we do see it when we write it. Again, remember to look at the word after the possessive to determine which one to use. So, for example, I'm sure that we have all heard of the Notre Dame, meaning Our Lady. It's not only an incredibly common name for churches in France and really all over the world, but probably one of the single most famous monuments, especially the one in Paris. Yes, there is more than one Notre Dame in the world. But it's Our Lady. It's not Our Ladies. That would be Nos Dames with an S on the end of dame. But since we only have one lady who we're honoring, we have to use notre, regardless of the gender of who in the world our might be.